CU ടോക്കോണിൽ ലോക നാടകങ്ങളെക്കുറിച്ചും സാങ്കേതികതയെക്കുറിച്ചും സംസാരിക്കുന്നു സ്പാനിഷ് തിയേറ്റർ ആർട്ടിസ്റ്റും നൂക്ക് തിയേറ്ററിന്റെ ആർട്ടിസ്റ്റിക് ഡയറക്ടറുമായ അന്ന മിർത്ത സെരീഗോ. അവതരണം ഡോക്ടർ സുരഭി MS, അസിസ്റ്റന്റ് പ്രൊഫസർ, സ്കൂൾ ഓഫ് ഡ്രാമ, Thrissur.
Hello, so my name is Mirtha Sariego. I'm a theatre maker from Spain that have trained in the UK and have been working abroad internationally for the last 15 years. And I'm traveling the world trying to learn more about different cultures and about different ways of theatre making, acting, directing and everything that is involved. And I'm here in India learning and sharing and exploring your beautiful culture.
So, having studied drama in numerous countries globally, what are your thoughts and observations now that you have arrived in India?
What I have found is that the creative world that you have here in India is very rich. It's you are very much in touch with the traditions in your culture, in music, in dance and in theatre, and this has a big impact in the performers, in the creators. I can notice that the mind of the devices, of the performers are much more open, less limitations. For example, in my country, in Spain, I can notice that we are less in touch with the mixture of different cultures and also the other art forms. So drama, music and dance are not so much integrated in our culture. So when we go to drama schools, the actors are not so used to this other performance.
I would like to know about the neutral mask.
Yes.
How
Yes.
you adapted it.
Yes. So the neutral mask is a pedagogical tool that was created by Jacques Lecoq from his pedagogy. And the neutral mask is not a mask that is used in performance. We don't use it as the full masks, the expressive masks or the comedian masks that allow you to speak, or even like the clown mask, which is the smallest mask. All of those masks are used for performance with an audience. The neutral mask is a tool for the students to work on their bodies, so we don't use it to show to an audience. And the idea behind the neutral mask is to allow the performer to find a neutral body. So this mask doesn't represent a character. It represents a bigger energy than a human. So Lecoq used to say that the mask represents the man of men and the woman of woman. Yeah. Nowadays, rather than talking about man or woman, we're talking about the female or the masculine energy. So the mask is allowing the actor to access a bigger force. And it's got some specific characteristics when we are working with the mask. We are trying to achieve a state of calmness, a state of neutrality, of integration, a state of playfulness. The neutral mask doesn't have a future or a past because it's not a character. So the students, when they are working with it, they are challenged to stay in the present constantly and to explore life from that state of full presence where there's no tension, there is no questions, there is no emotion. So when we are working with it, we are cleansing our performative bodies from any characteristic that is linked to our ego. So we are not looking at trying to create a character that is like a god. Rather than that, we use it to cleanse the body of the actor from any specific characteristic that makes that the ego creates. And so once it's cleansed from those ideas of who I think I am, then the actor becomes a white canvas to create any character on top. And of course, the neutral mask is not only about the body, but the body in the space, how the body interacts with the space. So it's called the journey of the neutral mask because it goes through different elements of nature. And it explores nature without judgment, without ideas, without preconceptions, without emotions, and explores nature both when nature is in balance and off balance. So if it's raining, the neutral mask is not, oh, it's raining. Oh, there's no comment about it. There's no judgment. It's just exploring. So it allows us as performers to learn a more neutral way of being on stage. So we can receive and react. So our acting is only about reacting to the space, reacting to what is happening. But from that state of neutrality, then we can go into the dramatic territories. We can later go and explore melodrama or tragedy or comedy, having a neutral body that allows anything to come in, and we can create something more interesting as performers.
How the female neutral mask training interact with the female body?
I don't think there's any difference between the female neutral mask. I mean, there are two masks. One represents the female and one represents the masculine. But as I said, when they were created more than 50 years ago, back in the 50s, the two masks were more different than what they are now. Because we are evolving, the mask maker, Alfredo Iriarte, who's creating these masks now, he's changed the shape of them. So they look very much alike. They're almost the same. Only the masculine one is a little bit bigger and the feminine is smaller. Because the idea behind it is that, of course, we all have both energies. So when a man is wearing the masculine energy, is not only representing the pure energy and the polarity, the feminine, it's not integrated. But quite the opposite is representing that the masculine energy already has this female energy integrated. And so the other way around, it happens the same thing. So we are not necessarily looking at putting on or wearing a masculine one and acting with only masculine energy, direction and straight lines and force, and feminine undulation and softness. We are not thinking about that when we're working with them. We are thinking more about a female performer using the mask to achieve the state of integration within the female body of this masculine energy.
Actually, my question was, the neutral mask practice deals with the neutrality of body.
Yes, exactly. So yes, we are always looking at whether the body is in a neutral state. So for example, this means that it's not too tense, not too loose. It's in a neutral state. It doesn't have torsions. So for example, the head it's not looking to the right and the chest to the left and then the hips to the other side, because that is showing in the body of the actor, is showing conflict. My head is thinking something, my emotions are thinking something else, and this is why we look one way and our chest is turned to the other side. The neutral mask is acceptance, is neutrality, so the body is completely neutral. The alignment between the mind, the head, the emotions, the chest, and the pelvis, the actions, is absolute. So at the same time, this allows the actor to be a better channel for the energy, because the alignment doesn't have anything that is blocking it. And so we have been talking through the workshop about the idea of the actor or the performer, whether you're a singer or a dancer, as a channel of universal energy. Because when we are on stage, beyond the fact of entertaining the audience, we are transmitting something, and there's a purpose for us to be on stage. So our bodies need to become these kind of empty vessels, so the energy can flow through us to the audience and back, because there is this cycle of energy between the performer and the audience. When the body doesn't have that alignment, the actor is going to find blockages, whether it's the mind repressing, whether it's the emotion, whether it's the body not in sync with the mind and the heart. So this is going to block the flow of energy that will reach the audience.
Thank you. What is the role of color in this practice?
So I know you're asking me the question because you have seen the performers wearing black clothes. They don't necessarily need to be black. I'm also wearing like this kind of beige color. It could be earth color. The idea is that we achieve the maximum state of neutrality. So we are looking for the most neutral color. It could have been white as well. And we ask the actors to get rid of rings, necklaces, earrings. So anything that represents their personality is taken out of the way, so they can align with this energy that is bigger than a human, is bigger than their egos. And this is why I ask them to bring a neutral color, not specifically black. We tend to use the black when we are working with a neutral mask, because usually the theater spaces are a black box. So how can we be more neutral in the space that we are using? Yeah, but it's not a rule. Of course, if I'm bringing a bright orange or a bright pink color with a black background, this is going to stand out more. And we are trying to achieve this state of calmness, neutrality, integration. And this is why we are looking at those colors. But actually, the neutral mask, at the moment, there are different colors. So you can find a light brown and a black neutral mask and a whiter one. The reason why they originally were brown is because they are made with leather. But nowadays, and the reason why they are not like a human color is because it's not a human character. It's something beyond human. But nowadays, Alfredo Iriarte, who's the mask maker, he changed, and he's making some masks that are leather, but he paints them with black as well. Because this is an interesting question that one of the students asked today. He said, if we are looking at integration, why there are black masks and white masks? So the reason is, it's not because we are differentiating and we're saying, oh, I'm a white woman and I need to wear a white mask. You are a black man and you need to wear a black mask. It's not about that. But the reason why there are different masks, so the performer can feel which one it's calling him. So in order for the performer to feel, I am integrated and I am part of this, because actually it happened that Alfredo Iriarte was giving a workshop with these masks in Argentina, and one of the performers was an African man. And when he went to choose one of the masks, he felt, I'm not part of this, I'm not integrated. And he left the room. So he decided to add this color. And again, it's not a limitation thing, or it's not restricting or creating division, but quite the opposite, trying to say everything is integrated. And then, of course, you can use any color.
What is your idea about Indian acting style?
Yes.
Are you familiar with?
That's a good question. So I have only read about it and seen some performances on film. like Mahabharati by Peter Brook and some other directors that I've seen online, but I've never been yet to a theater in India, unfortunately, because I just arrived. And again, it's not so common to find Indian theater companies in Europe. Maybe the UK is more familiar because of the obvious reasons, but in Spain, where I come from, I've never seen an Indian theatre company, and I wish I had, and I hope this exchange starts to happen soon. But I find from what I read is very interesting, because you are as well bringing a lot of information from the traditions and the culture, and it's beautiful that the theatre art form is receiving that and keeping that and transmitting that to future generations. So I'm looking forward to know more.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm very happy to have had the opportunity to spend time with you. Thank you very much.
I am happy. Thank you so much for the invitation. Everyone in the school has been amazing.
To say to our students.
Yes, definitely. You're so lucky. This is a very special space. First of all, the openness of the people that the teachers, the staff. I can say that it's remarkable, and it's not like that in all of the places. Second, where the school is, the environment, you are in the middle of nature, so that's very rich. Many times we are used to go to university in the middle of a city surrounded by cars, and there's no space to breathe. So this is already changing a lot the energy. And third, as I read the vision and the mission of the drama department, has a very strong purpose. So it's not only about creating entertainment, it's about helping to change society, creating a real impact in the world, question things, provoking the audience. And that is very important, and it's not something that should be taken for granted, because I've taught in many countries, in many different schools, and not all of the schools have this vision. You know, some of the schools that I taught in Spain, the students are only interested in becoming famous and being on TV, and they're not interested in creating something that has an impact in society for the greater good of all. And if we remember the origins of theater was created to provoke, was created to criticize something, to question something. So it's very important that we remember that. And I also think shouldn't be taken for granted what you're doing with the students, which is give them an overall vision of the theater making art, not only teaching them about how to be a good actor. You are giving them a vision of what it is to create a costume, what it is to make a set design, what it is to be an outside eye and direct. Yeah, and not many schools that I've been, they have this global understanding of the art of theater making. And many schools are trapped in the old pattern or the old ways, where there's a director that is hierarchy in the hierarchy is higher. Yeah, and the actors are only puppets. And here you are really encouraging the students to be artists with everything, you know, that they can think of, and you are not giving them limitations. You are telling them, look, you can explore this and this and this and this, and then you choose where your heart leads you. But you're opening windows for them rather than closing them doors. And I think that's very, very precious. And I think this is something that the staff should be proud of. Definitely the direction of the school, and for the students as well to appreciate that. Because quite often when we are used to something, we stop understanding that that is precious. And it is something very unique that I found in this space. So thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah, my recognition and my gratitude to all of you for your generosity. This is also something that makes a performer a good performer, a good open heart. You know, when a performer is generous, we want to look at them. When a performer is selfish, we stop caring. So it's not only about the technique, It's also about what it's inside. And I think the whole institution puts a big focus on that, because I can feel it coming from the outside. I feel welcome, I feel your love, I feel your openness, I feel your curiosity. And these are like really amazing qualities that you don't find in all of the places. So thank you for that.